What's up, guys? Welcome back to Daily. Today's Stagurday, going to be the second installment that I've done, my second time taking part in Stagurday. And I've got a couple of cool knives to look at. Today's kind of a 2-for-1. I've got one that is a really nice knife. I don't quite know how to grade knives per se, but it's borderline unused, that type of thing, like not sharpened or anything, and it's beautiful. And then I've got another knife that has been well loved and carried for many years. Blade's a little whittled down, so we're gonna work on that knife and kind of give it a new life, maybe hot rod it or make it a Daily special, because I want to put the knife in my pocket. And so we're gonna take a look at those and stick around, and we'll get into some Stag knives. All right, guys, here we go. We've got a Case 5399.5, large jumbo swell, or the rail splitter. It's called the rail splitter, I guess I read in my book, because the old timers called it that because it was basically just so large. This is a 65 to 69, so it's a Case XX USA stamp on there, and no dots. And I just think that kind of like last weekend, that I really lucked out with the amount of character in that Stag. And as you can see, this blade is, I guess, like, the blade's not sharpened and unused. There's no scratches up here that I can see. I'm not good at grading knives. Yeah, that's a very good blade. There's some carbon spotting on the actual edge of it. And then there's a little ding here on the bolster, which I will show closer up, but it's a beautiful knife. Beautiful walk and talk. And then the back, look at this. Oh, just that like burnt color and like deep valleys all the way across on this guy. Man, this is one that kind of gets me salivating a little bit, man. It's just a really, really nice knife. I'll open it up here so you guys can take more of a look at that blade, how nice it is. And this is just one I can't bring myself to carry. I wish I could. Maybe after I have it for a while, I've had it, there's another little carbon spot right here. Maybe after I have it, a couple of years. I've had this for just about a month, and I got it from, I want to mention this guy. He's cool. Jesse at oldpocketknives.com. He has some knives, and he has a website, but then he also posts stuff on eBay, and then he does like a weekly newsletter that goes out to people. And he's kind of like selling on a retail, whatever. He's a knife dealer, I guess, but he does give very, very fair prices. And so he hooked this up, and he also helped me a lot with my knife sale when my house burned down in January, and I had to sell a large collection of knives. And he like put it out to the community, put some of my auctions, because I was having eBay auctions on eBay to try and raise money because of that house fire that I had. I live in LA, and the LA fires happen. So Jesse at Old Pocket Knives kind of like put me in his newsletter and highlighted it, and I'm sure it contributed to as well as my auctions did. So props where props are due. He helped me out. And then I went back when it was time. I had a little money to maybe buy a knife. Like, went back to him and checked out what he had. I saw this one day, and I just saw this Stag, and I had to have it. So anyways, now this knife, like I said, is put up, and I'm not going to carry this knife right now. I'm going to put some like wax and stuff on it and kind of put it away. But I wanted to show it to you guys. But what I do have here is a second 52 9.5 case rail splitter, and it is from the USA era with no dots, so 65 to 69. So it's almost like it's basically this knife's brother, but as you can see, it's well used. That blade's getting pretty low. Someone has attached this shield on upside down. The Stag here there's not a ton of color. However, there is like some really nice valleys going on, and it's kind of dark and dirty. I don't know if sanding is going to affect that at all. But what I am going to do, I think, because this is also a really large knife. This knife's 4 and let's see what our 4 1/8, and it's a little bit of a larger knife than I like to carry. Like a trapper is kind of pushing it for me, but this one being a little bit fatter, and it's even a little bit heavier than a trapper because it's kind of heavier duty. Like I think the springs are thicker, the blades are thicker. So I like one blade knives, and I am gonna, because I want to carry this, and I've got a great example of this knife here that I'm gonna put away for me and to keep nice, and I want to get this in my pocket, man. So I'm gonna hot rod this guy. I'm gonna give it a little weight reduction and maybe a new powertrain, because I just happen to have, now this is a stainless steel blade, but this is a 1-dot clip point out of a HA 199.5, which is a high art. Basically it's a let me give you a little closer look here at these guys, which is it's the naked, called the Naked Lady knife. There's a girl in a bathing suit. It's an acrylic knife, and what happened is someone had one, and I guess somehow, because it's acrylic and it's a single blade, and it's acrylic, and that acrylic got melted, and I don't have the scales, but the guy showed me a picture of the way that it was, and I wanted to get this off him, so I bought this blade off of him for $20 because it had the 1 dot on it, and I'm gonna put it in this guy. I'm gonna make this a 1-dot daily special, and I'm gonna see if I can doctor this guy up and maybe toast this bone a little bit, and see if we toast this Stag a little bit and get this looking pretty and see how we come out. Now, you guys remember on the case tested, if you watch that video, I cracked the bone on the case tested knife, and this guy, if you see here, has a very, let me turn this light up here. Sorry about background noise. I live on a busy street. The window's open. It's too hot to close it here in Los Angeles. So I got traffic noise. Anyhow, this is so thin right here, and it's already cracked. But what I've done preemptively, and I didn't film it, was I just dabbed a little bit of super glue on the crack so that when I go to cut this, maybe, just maybe, that'll keep without cracking all the way. But I pretty much expect this is gonna crack right here, because that is just paper thin, as you can see. I mean, this thing's well worn down. But hey, you know what? I'll repair it and we'll make it work. Like I said, I'm gonna make this a user. I'm gonna give this some life and carry it in my pocket, give it a little weight reduction, and make it a One Dot Daily special, guys. This is the book I'm looking at to show you these. And here it talks about the 99 pattern and the 5299.5, like we're talking about, continued through the XX Case USA years, and the pattern was discontinued in 1970 when Case stopped regular production of Stag handled pocket knives. So it continued to make the 6299 into the 70s, but these knives here were of the last last time Stag was used on the 5299.5. And I also have, for another future video, a case tested 6299, which is without the clip point, which is, oh, I just lost my place in this book. Hold on, I had it. Oh, here we go. I flipped right to it. I flipped right to it. So lucky. So see this one here, this 6299 rail splitter in green bone. I have a knife that's in real bad shape, but I'm gonna be fixing that one up at a later date. Anyway, so we'll get to the 5299.5 rail splitter modification. Okay guys, we're gonna attempt to cut this spring and try and be a little more careful and gentle. Someone commented, why don't you put a towel down between your vise and your knife there? And yes, that's obvious. I forgot to do that in the last video. These are, you know, like a rubber type of bumper or a soft one, but he was 100% right. I should have had a towel down regardless. I don't think that's what cracked it on that specific, but he was right. I could have cracked it 100 other ways by not having a towel down between the knife and the vise. Looks like we've got a success. That side's not cracked any further, and this side is not cracked any further. Hallelujah. All right, let's punch these little pins out here. Disassembled without too much pain. It was much worse on that case tested. All right, let's go inside and take a look at these. Oop, one more pin. One more pin Hopefully I didn't speak too soon. Oh, that one poked right out. No problem. All right, let's go inside. All right, so got it all taken apart, got all the pieces here. And like I said, we somehow got out lucky with not cracking that. That's a little mark in the liner there, not a crack yet, but you know, it may not survive the repin, but that's okay. I'm happy with a so far so good scenario. Okay, so the first thing I'm gonna do is I'm gonna figure out which back spring. This is the main back spring, so this one is not being used. This is not being used. Let me get a paper towel and just do a rough degrease on that guy, because what I'm going to do is put these in a envelope, and these little jewelers envelopes, mark on it what it is. All right, we got case 65 to 69, 5299 and a half, and I guess these are for jewelry parts or something. Anyway, I just want to hold on. Who knows? Maybe who knows? I could be taking apart something, and someday, you know, it's worth like $450 million. And yours truly took it apart. So if I've got the parts, maybe I could still get like $150 million for it in 100 years. Okay. So the first thing I'm gonna do is just give these guys a once over clean up with the Dremel brush, and you know, get as much gunk off there as possible before, because I'm gonna make these real smooth, sand all this down. I'm gonna make this back spring just shine as much as possible. I just, you know, I want to give it a new kind of lease on life. Oh yeah, we're not using this blade, so that guy goes away too. Got the 1-dot transplant blade. Okay, we got these pretty clean, and they are nice and flat liners. No bend to them at all. So they lived through our cutting the pin series. I will lightly sand these guys later and bring them to. I want to buff them out as much as I can. I want this area in here to be extremely smooth. gonna start sanding this back spring. I'm gonna start with 320, work through to 5,000, and I will catch up with you then.
Is that not cool?
5,000, and you got Knife Doctor in the background doing a live show. We're listening to Knife Doctor now.
Guys, if y'all have not subscribed to Knife Magazine, I don't get a dime for this at all. I'm just telling you the truth.
You better subscribe to Knife Magazine if Kevin says so.
Is an awesome publication. Check him out.
All right, guys, I'm just gonna hit the inside of these liners.
Great guy.
With a little 800, but very gently. So I'm going to just do a little bit of sand in here on where the tang makes contact with the inside of the liner. Loaded up with red. We're in a buffalo. What do we think, guys? Too shiny? I like that. I want to look down in that well and see something sparkling. Like that. Next to that. And it's going to look good in that well. My knife, I guess, do what I want, right? Okay. So we're ready to assemble this guy. And just doing a preliminary check, these pins fit in there so perfectly, these pre-cut, which has never happened. I've always had to roll these pins, and it's not like they're too small. They're just like exactly like not snug. They just go in there really, really smooth with these bolster pins a little bit down with this, and then switch to 400 to kind of blend them. All right, guys, I taped her up so we don't run off onto that stag. Let's go. Those bolster pins disappeared there, so they're gone, and we didn't run onto the stag or anything. So we're gonna move inside now and do some more sanding. We've got her taped up and ready to sand, so I'm gonna start at 400 and go to work on this guy. Be a little bit fragile around here, but then wind up at 5,000. So I will get to work and see you guys then. $5,000. All right, guys, here we go. We've got the knife all sanded down and polished up, and it turned out there's some good and there's some bad. And first, the good. This blade looks, I just love the way that blade looks. If you see here, the back spring is perfectly matched up with the back spine of that knife. And I don't know everything, but to me, that's the way it should fit, in my opinion. A lot of times, guys talk about they're a little bit canted, and like they talk about maybe there's like a usefulness to that to like cut, and I understand it like leans into the knife, but sometimes those, they have like a step there, and it always bugs me. It just never seems like that's the way it should fit, and it's that way on a lot of case knives, especially some of the 1-dots that I collect. So it pleases me to have that there. Another thing that I did that is not great work is I thought those pins were disappeared, and I can see them a little. It's okay on this side, but on this side it's a little more prevalent, and I should have done a better job with that, and that's my peening. I should have done a little bit better job with that. Let me zoom. So you can see that there is not perfect, and it concerns me a little that it's possible over time that could pull apart maybe. Right now it is absolutely, man, that's solid. The walk and talk on this knife is beautiful. The action is so good. Oh man, I'm very, very, very happy about that. It's just perfectly centered, which that doesn't always come out like that, when you're taking these old knives apart. And then it's pinchable. Oh, that to me, that's the whole deal right there for me. I love a knife that is pinchable. It's just so much more friendly to actually carry and work with. But we're not quite done here, because we've got a prescription from the doctor, and he says we need to toast up this stag a little bit. So that's what we're gonna do now. I have not done this before, so we're just gonna go at it. We're gonna see how it happens. It's an experiment. Move that out of the way. Let's get over here. Get a little rag going. Let's see. First, the prescription calls for a little bit of oil. So we're gonna put this in these nice grooves. And there's really nice grooves to work with here. So we're gonna let this sink in a little, right? Absorb a little bit. I've got one here, but I wanna wait a minute and do it last separately. Kind of got a lot in there. Might have to sit for a moment. That soaked in a little bit. I dabbed a little bit off too. Maybe I went a little heavy. So we're just gonna try this, see where we land. And this is just, I'm just following the doctor's prescription here. She's smoking, she's working. All right, guys, do the same here on this side. Now, I'm a little concerned. I didn't check, and I meant to, because we obviously had some work done on that shield at some point. It's probably a replacement, and it was put on upside down. So I'm thinking it's possible it's glued. There is pins, and they're probably in the holes, but it might be glued in, and this heat could maybe loosen up that glue a little bit. We're gonna have to let that chill out, and then we're gonna have to feather that in a little bit, and we'll see how she turns out. But we definitely got some contrast and color to work with on both sides there, and then hopefully we'll lighten some of that up and create some good looking definition in there. All right, so here's the knife all finished up and toasted. And I could have done some more sanding on this guy in some of these parts, but I think it came out pretty darn good. Looks like I hit here with a little bit of sandpaper. I'll clean that up. But it started to come in with some little bit of gnarled edges and whatnot. Let's hit it with some of this wax. This stuff is, I mentioned before, just something I found on Amazon, but it smells really good, and it does the job. It's natural. So let's put it on this guy. Get that in there, because the toasting really dries out the stag quite a bit. I notice. You can tell that the toasting is pretty hard on it. So this will help bring it back up to hopefully hydrate it a little bit more, get that nice down in there. And this stuff smells very good, like I said. I've sanded it down, but I could do probably, I could keep going on it, but I wanted to just kind of have it be done for a minute, and because it, you know, wear a little bit in your pocket too. Clean some of that off of there, shine that up, make them happy. Oh yeah, and the wax kind of, you know, brings out a little bit of the definition too, so we can see, but you can see there what some of that toasting's done. We got a little bit of color and definition in there now, and definitely on this side. Definitely on this side, if you can start to see, there's even a little popcorn mark starting to pop out. It'll come out better in some photographs, but I'm really happy with, you know, my first time toasting something. You got to be careful though. But yeah, man, this thing is looking really good. Good action, good snap all around. Blade is centered up. Happy with it. I hit this bolster. Can we see that? Where is it? Maybe it was just a. No, I hit it a little bit. I'm gonna have to polish that some more. I hit it with a sandpaper when I was doing this. So yeah, so we've got the two knives here. The double for Stagurday, and there is the original over here, and here is the worn version with the blade delete. I don't know, one dot daily special. We got a little toasted bone. You can see, obviously, the original is extremely beautiful, but I think that we did a great job for a knife that's gonna get carried and get some pocket time while we get this one kind of sitting up. So tell me your thoughts. Did I ruin this old knife? Do you think it was better the way it was before? What do you guys think? Are you liking this? Did I you know, it's very different now, and the toasted bone. Mainly, I guess, the blade delete. Do you think that's like an integrity thing? I mean, of course, it's my knife and I want to carry it, and I enjoy doing this. But I would love to hear you guys' feedback, whether or not you like this or not, this style of knife. So anyways, thank you guys for hanging out, sticking around to see the final result. Of course, I always want to hear your feedback, and I thank you guys for taking a look at the video. I'm probably going to sand a little bit more on there, right? Because I can bring that out a little bit, but I just didn't want to go too far, you know? So, because it was my first time ever toasting anything. So anyways, I'm gonna get this knife in my pocket. I gotta sharpen up and then get this knife in my pocket. And yeah, I'll see you guys around. I hope you have a great weekend. Thanks for watching.